Hi there, it's Crystal from Teaching Little Miracles. And Christy is always saying how techie I am and asking me all kinds of questions about how I create things for my classroom and then turn them into products for Teachers Pay Teachers or Teacher's Notebook. So I thought I might have a little something to share with you. I don't claim to be an expert at all, but this is just how I do it. I apologize for my messy desktop. It is kind of a summer thing. I save a lot there before I move it over to my school computer. When I'm going to get started, I always go into my Dropbox. Christy and I have a folder there that we can, I can save my product in when I'm ready for her to proofread it and vice versa, and then we don't have to be constantly emailing product back and forth. So it's convenient for me to use my Dropbox. And I have a graphics folder, and as you can see, my graphics are then sorted by the designer's name. Like, let's see, graphics from the pond, one of my favorites. I have a lot from her. And it just keeps them all handy where I know where they're at. I really want to make one of those graphics binders I've seen where I can visually see everything that I own because I'm starting to get so many graphics. But in my graphics folder, I have this PowerPoint called Credit Buttons. I have all of the buttons for the designers that I have purchased some of their products or gotten free products from them. And I did this several months ago because I would realize that after I got finished with something, I'd be like, oh, I need to do a credits page, and then I would have to go back and figure out whose products I'd used and get their buttons in there. So I realized that if I put them all on here, it would be way easier to just delete the ones that I did not need. So I start with this. One thing I'm going to show you is the size, the slide size. We started making things in Word first. I found that it was more difficult to create pictures for my preview files and things, so I went to PowerPoint instead, and it took me a little bit to figure out some things, but the first thing I always do is go to Design, Slide Size, Custom Slide Size, and you can see that it is 10 inches by 7.5. And if you leave it this way, when you get done with your product, you're going to be very disappointed because you're going to have an ugly white border around your things, and you'll realize you had a lot of wasted space you could have used. So I always change it to 8.5 by 11, and then I'm ready to go. When this screen pops up, it's because I already have some things on there, and I have actually started a product in the wrong size. When you click maximize, your graphics are going to be big and off the page. If you click ensure fit, they will still be there. You may have to do some adjustments after you've clicked ensure fit. Since I haven't really started on this one, it doesn't really matter. So this is the file I would use to get started, and I would just save it under a new name, which I'm going to save this one to my desktop, and I'm going to replace the one I already did, and then I'm ready. Now I'm going to show you a couple of things on a project I'm working on right now. I'm super excited about it. I think my kiddos are going to love it. I use Saxon Math, and last year was my first year teaching Saxon. It was also my first year teaching second grade, but I had seen all these things about math interactive notebooks or math journals, and so I decided I wanted to turn some of the Saxon lessons into some interactive things my kids could do in a notebook. And so you can see here I've just went ahead with my cover slide, and I will probably pretty this up a little bit more before I'm done. And then here's my credits page, or what it's starting to look like. You can see I have some of the designers here. The credits button page is still at the end, so that as I use them, I'll be able to copy and paste and put them on that front slide so I don't forget that I've used something from them. The other thing that I love about PowerPoint, since I started using it, is the duplicate selected slide. So I was getting ready to do a shapes one. Let's see, where they could do a shape sort. And I already had this slide with polygons and not a polygon, so this slide would probably be great for me to duplicate for what I'm doing next. So I would just click that, and you can see I have two there. I take this one, I just click and drag this one down to where I want it to go. Looks like I had already done that, I guess. I didn't realize that. So I'll just delete my extra one. And then I'm ready to get started, and I can delete whatever shapes I don't want. I can add more things. I mean, I've got it all set up here, and it'll be very easy for me to edit into what I'm looking for. The other thing that I use a lot is holding down the control key while I'm selecting things. You can select more than one thing at a time. If once you click it, which on a text box you can't be in the text box like you're going to type, you have to just have the text box. If you'll hit the control key, and then you can hit as many things as you want, which I'm sorry I'm not able to hit the control key right now to show you, but if you hold the control key down while you're clicking your shapes or text boxes, then you're going to be able to select them all as one, copy, paste, move them all as one. It's a great little tip that I like to use. So I just thank you for watching the video, and I hope it's a help to some people. I will probably be adding some more detailed things once I get going on actual products, but I thought this was a good place to start. So go have some fun.